Thanks for the ride.
You're welcome.
Good morning, you guys. Welcome to the video. So the reason that Amanda is picking me up today is because my car is actually in the shop. It should be done today, so I'll be able to get it back. But we are on our way to the gym right now. Gonna do a little back session, but we're actually gonna be doing something really exciting. That's like the whole premise of today's video. We're gonna be getting DEXA scans. So I'm gonna get one, and also Amanda's gonna get one. The basic premise, hopefully someone at the place that we're getting the DEXA scan will be able to explain a little bit more. If not, I'll go into a little bit more depth later. But it is like the most accurate way to track the reason that I'm doing it, there's a couple different uses that people have for it, but the reason I'm getting it is because it is the most accurate way to, track your body fat percentage and your body composition, see how much lean body mass you have, how much body fat you have. Obviously it'll be cool to have this first data, but what I'm excited about is to be able to, get this baseline, and then say in about a year or 8 months or whatever, see how much, my training is helping and how much lean body mass I'm actually putting on. But before we do that, like I said, we're going to the gym. It's been a few hours and I'm all showered up from the gym, so is Amanda. So we're trying to find this place. We don't know where it is. It's like this shopping center, it's like an industrial park kind of. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. A couple thoughts before we go in and do the test. One, I'm gonna ask them if I can film in there. I hope they let me. But two, I've never done anything that's this exact, and I honestly have no idea. Like, if I were to guess what my body fat percentage is now, I would say it's like 20%. Because I feel like I've definitely been leaner before, and I don't think that's really terrible, but that's what I would say. That's what I would guess. Do you have any guesses of what your body fat would be?
0. Just kidding. 95.
You would be dead?
95%.
You'd be dead again. I'm really excited though to get this just general information and then kind of see where we can go from there. What's your name, by the way?
Seth.
Seth, it's nice to meet you.
Nice
so
to meet you too.
This is the DEXA scan right here, right?
Yep.
And so with the DEXA scan, I guess the first thing I want to know is like, what does it do? Okay. And then what's the benefit between doing this to find out like your body fat compared to like the calipers or the hydro thing? Like why is this the, like the gold standard?
Sure. Essentially this is like a weaker x-ray, if you will. And it was originally made to check bone density,
okay.
Which is important for aging women and stuff. But we have found that through software programs and stuff, you can separate certain layers, and that's where using it for body composition and fat percentage versus lean tissue and stuff like that came into play. So there's skin folds, there's body impedance, there's hydrostatic, and there's air displacement, which is like the bod pod.
Mm-hmm.
Hydrostatic and bod pod are decently accurate. They both have errors in them. This has a slight error in it too. This is considered the gold standard by scientific literature. Frankly, it's just more accurate than those other ones.
So how does this work? Like what do you do when you are getting scanned or whatever?
Gotcha. So pretty much we center you in this little rectangle here. Try to get you as center as possible. We try to separate your limbs, because on the program we have to draw regions of interest, if you will, between each limb. Okay. And that's really what separates this from the other ones, is we're able to separate your left arm from your right arm,
okay.
Your legs from your upper body, your abdominal region from your waist or your hips.
So it changes from one mass to like different areas.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So even if, let's say it's not true, but let's say bod pod was just as accurate as DEXA, you're still able to do way more with it than bod pod. So that's the big thing. So yeah, we center you on here, get your limbs separated, and essentially this guy will swing up there, your head will be over there, and it'll move down, it'll scan, and then it'll stop and move down again. Essentially just using x-rays to scan down, and it does it section by section.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Should take about 6 minutes.
All right.
Hee
I'm all scanned up.
That's not bad at all.
These are the results right here?
These are the results.
Okay, cool.
So we got you at 15% body fat, or 14.9. How much? You said 205?
Yeah, it fluctuates between 205 to 210, so
okay.
209.
209 today.
Mm-hmm.
Lean tissue, about 170. Lean tissue is everything but bone and fat. It includes your organs, tendons, ligaments, connective tissue, everything. Bone mineral content, this is how much your skeleton weighs.
Oh wow, that's it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's not that heavy.
Yeah.
And then fat tissue, about 31 pounds.
So that means I have 31 pounds of fat?
Throughout your whole body,
wow,
correct.
That's really not that much.
No.
That's interesting.
Yep. This breaks it down by region. So arms about 12%, legs 15, trunk 15, android 14, and gynoid 16. So android's your waistline, your abs. Gynoid is your hips and butt, essentially. And you want your android to be less than your gynoid. It's a predictor of visceral adipose tissue.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is the fat that covers your organs up.
Yeah, that's the really bad stuff.
Yeah. So it's your ratio is good. It's below 1, which we want to be 0.88. You're estimated to have about 49 cubic inches, which is still in the healthy range. Anything less than 52 is healthy.
Okay.
You're at the upper limit of it, but I wouldn't say there's too much to worry about with it. Especially everything else looks pretty good. So this is your bone density. Right here is the mean average 50th percentile. Up here is 1 standard deviation up, which you're above. You're about 1.5 standard deviation up. This is like the great region. This is good. This is okay.
So I'm in the great region.
Great.
Oh,
You're
that's
doing
cool.
good. This is typically more of a concern for women as they age.
Okay.
Down here we're talking like osteopenia, osteoporosis as it gets lower and lower. That's why usually women suffer from that post-menopause. They get that estrogen drop, and estrogen's what, even in men, is what helps to increase bone density. RMR. So this is
resting metabolic rate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got you about 2,000 calories a day.
Sounds about right.
It's a pretty good ballpark number. We do metabolic testing too, and this is almost always like within plus or minus 100 calories.
Yeah. So what the resting metabolic rate is basically, say if I were to lay in bed all day, do nothing, that's how many calories my body would just burn living and existing.
So yeah, it's pretty much
awesome.
Time to see how fat I am.
Now it's your turn.
Got you at 25%.
Hey.
Which women 20 to 25 is pretty.
Look,
is what considers healthy.
my weight was pretty accurate too.
And 35. 4.7 on the bone minerals. 96 lean tissue, 34 fat tissue. Any questions?
No.
You?
Good, man.
Good? All right.
Hi.
So I just wanted to kind of end this video just kind of overviewing a couple of things that you guys saw and just kind of give my thoughts. So the first thing, obviously, that I want to talk about is the body fat percentage. Now 14.9 is like, I'm really, really happy with that. Considering that I'm not like tracking macros, so I'm just eating how I feel like I should be eating. I'm not like stressing about food very much. Like this is honestly the least that I've ever stressed about food this past probably year. And it just really proves to me that I know what I'm doing and everything that I've been doing has been working. So for me, that's like a huge win. 14.9 is, I'm very, very happy with that. And then what's cool to me is the other numbers that I was able to see. Obviously, so with my weight, it says that I weigh 209 pounds. I fluctuate between like 205 and 209, so that was completely fine. I was like wearing all my clothes when I got weighed as well, but that doesn't really matter. And then I was able to see that, so like we were talking about earlier, I have 31 pounds of fat. Like that is all fat that I have on my body, right? That's pretty crazy to me, just knowing that that's the only amount of fat that I have now, considering I used to be mostly fat, and it's just really cool to see the numbers and see, you know, where I am right now. One thing that I definitely wanted to talk about was like my loose skin with that. I talked to them, it didn't seem like there was any, like it didn't really mess with any of the readings. It doesn't really, like as far as the DEXA scan is concerned, I'm sure like if I were to do calipers where they pinch, I'm sure that would have a big effect. But with this method, it really does it looks at everything, your bone density, everything. So I don't think the loose skin really affects it too much. So I really do believe that these numbers are very, very, as close to accurate as you can really get. But I know a lot of people would probably be wondering if the loose skin played any role or any factor. And I don't think that it really messed with the score at all. So there you guys go. That's everything. I mean, I'm really excited to see what it looks like in 8 months to a year, see where I'm at. Hopefully I got maybe I weigh a little bit more, but that's muscle, or maybe I'm able to get the body fat down a little bit, who knows. But again, I'm really happy having this baseline, and you know, and then I'll be able to see where I am in a few months. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully this was able to answer some of your questions. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that Amanda wanted to say. What was it?
Look how buff I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, Don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.